Welcome to the Holy Smokes Podcast, a show about faith, friendship, fine tobacco, and drink. I'm Steve Ryder, and I am in the Orlando area with Eric Reinhold. Last year, I did an episode about building your own home lounge, whether it's a home lounge, shed lounge, and I planned on last year starting to interview some people throughout the Colorado Springs area and along the Colorado Front Range. I just never got around to doing it, and so I figured since I'm here in the Orlando area, I was going to kick back with one of our past guests, Eric Reinhold, because he built this awesome deck right on a lake in his backyard. And so we wanted to talk about smoke on the water. Eric, thanks for being back on, my man.
Hey, glad to do it. Glad you can be here and stay with us and see the culmination of about something I thought about 3 years ago.
Yeah, that was gonna be my first question. When did you start thinking about this?
It was actually my first time coming to the conclave. So I've been 3 times now, but my first one had never really seen guys that had their man cave, smoking cave, and ended up getting to experience the Eagle's Nest, the Lion's Den. I think there was one back then, we haven't been back, called either the Bear Cave or Bear's Den.
Bear's Den.
And then I stayed with Wayne at Wayne's World. So as I was doing that, we had built this house, moved out to Lake County on a lake, and I started thinking, I've got to do something like that. My wife would never allow anything inside, even if it was self-contained. So this is about as far from the house as you can get, or 100 feet out in the water. But yeah, I started envisioning it, and really it was actually a 3-phase event ultimately. The first phase was putting in the screened-in porch, which is kind of a big screen area, so we could do things there, and then doing the patio area with the kind of seating area with the fire pit and all that, and out beyond that. But really the culmination was to do an actual smoking area out on the dock. And of course I was thinking of names because everybody had a cool name out there. And growing up in the 70s and early 80s in the high school, one of my favorite groups was Deep Purple.
Yeah.
And so, Smoke on the Water immediately came to mind. It would fit perfectly. So.
Yesterday when I came out and I landed and you walked me out here, that you pulled out your phone and you hit play and it was like dun, 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 dun. Nice and loud. You got some great speakers up there too.
Yeah, that was my one contribution, was putting in the speaker system. Oh, and getting the beer fridge out here. So those 2 things. Yeah, adding the fans, and so it's the lighting, so it's great for some of our events that we have here in Lake County, and then getting the guys out here from Orlando to do events out here. So.
That's awesome. I love the fact that so if anyone's interested in what this looks like on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Holy Smokes Club, I'll have a video, and the Instagram, it's at Holy Smokes Club. And I'll have some shots of not only walking out here and the layout, but also you have a screened-in porch there, and you called it phase 3, an outdoor patio? Is that what you called it?
Well, it's phase 1, 2, and 3. So the screen porch, as we kept moving out, and so the patio area is kind of phase 2, and the dock was phase 3. So.
Yeah.
And actually, it's kind of like 3B is we did finally, I got the beach just put in, so. But yeah, that was my contribution, primarily the beach. I certainly didn't build the deck, but certainly the layout of it and what I was envisioning came out like we were hoping it would. So.
Well, it's a great location, and another great idea for people, if they live on a lake, to build something like this and host a bunch of people. What's the most you've ever had out here on?
We've for the Christmas event is probably the biggest. So we had about, I guess, 2 things. We had 50 at the Christmas event here, which is great. In our winter, I actually got a couple heat lamps for everybody here. And then we had at the Palmclave. This was kind of where we did the church service, and the night before we had everybody here. So we had about the same amount of people, 40 to 50. So yeah, it worked out good.
So Eric Reinhold and Smoke on the Water. That's a great name. I freaking love it.
I just need to get it to where I can walk down while I'm walking down the gangway light, you're getting
automatically
it
plays.
automatically comes on. I have to figure I have a sensor to do that, a motion sensor.